So in a previous video that I posted on tiny toiletries and my excitement in all of that, I shared with you a tiny deodorant that I found that I thought was perhaps the smallest deodorant in the world. But thanks to your viewer comments, you helped me realize that there's even smaller alternatives, which I am super excited about. I'm going to show you in this video how you can actually turn this large one. See the size comparisons? This was already pretty small. This is your normal, regular, everyday size of deodorant. It's actually one of the smaller types. I'm going to show you how you can turn this large one into that. This is so cool. You're going to want to see how I do it so that maybe you can also do the same thing with your favorite deodorant and you don't have to buy these little tiny ones. You can just make your own. So come with me. Welcome to my kitchen. So in order to do this part of the demonstration, I needed to have access to a microwave and a cutting board and knives. And I didn't have any of those things in my bathroom, obviously. So we moved down to the kitchen. Just keep in mind that I'm doing this literally for the first time. So you're going to experience this with me. I think that's the most fun way to show a demonstration. I don't know what the results are going to be until we try it. So I bought these off of Amazon because I didn't have any empty chapstick containers at the moment, and I'm leaving on a trip soon, and I didn't want to wait till mine was all used up in order to use an older one. So I just bought these. I'll leave the link in the description below. They're fairly inexpensive. They do come in multi-pack, which is the only hard thing about it, but there's many different things I think you could use these for. Drop some comments in the comment section below if you can think of other things besides what we're going to do in this video for these little chapstick things. I mean, I know you can make your own chapstick, but are there other things besides like lip balm that you could use this for? So give me some ideas, because I have like, I don't know, like maybe 50 of them. I don't even know how many came in this box. So, okay, we're going to start off with this empty little container, and I like it because it is transparent, so I can see exactly how much deodorant I'm going to have in here. And granted, you have your little plunger part here on the bottom. That's no deodorant in that, but you have all of this. Now, based on different comments that I received and different things that I've looked at, is that there's two different ways that I know of that you can do this. You can either cut off a big chunk and just shove it in there, or you can melt it and pour it in. I'm actually thinking, because this is really solid, there's no way I'm going to be able to push that in there without busting everything up. So I'm going to cut some off and we're going to melt it and then we're going to pour it. We're going to see how that works. Okay, we have this giant knife. Okay, so let's see how this is going to work. Maybe this video will also have me going to the hospital. We don't know. We're going to cut off a chunk. Oh, that actually cut. That's much softer than I was expecting. Based on how it felt, I thought it was going to be so hard. Maybe you could just shove it in there. Maybe you could do that. Should we try one that's just shoving it in there? I have lots of these, so I could do this more than one time. So let's try this. Let's just, oh my goodness. Yeah, this is messy, super messy, but let's try. Now this is really messy, but oh my gosh, this is actually really cool. I'm just wondering, I mean, you have to have it packed in there good, because if you don't, it's not going to give the full amount. Wow, this is so creamy. This is really fun, actually. Oh my goodness. Let's see, I have all this that's loose in there. I don't think, it's like it's buttery. I've never noticed the texture of deodorant. I've never rubbed it on my fingers before. It's very buttery. I'm so surprised at how buttery that is. It's almost like, it feels exactly like butter. So I'm going to be real. That will work. That will work. However, I don't like it that there's sections that are like not. I'm also thinking that this is just going to fall apart when I go to use it. It's just going to get stuff everywhere because I just am shoving this in like in big chunks. So can this work? Yes, it can work. Will it work to actually apply it? And did I make an enormous mess of it? Yeah, that also is a question. I mean, it's true that I did make an enormous mess, but will it work without it getting everywhere? I really don't want to have white stuff all over because I wear a lot of black. So, I don't know. Okay. What I'm going to do is I wonder if I just microwaved that a little bit, because I don't know, you can't tell. But down inside of here, there's like a bubble where I didn't get enough in there, probably because of the shape that I pushed in from the very beginning wasn't a good shape. So it looks like this area, there's nothing there. So that's wasted space for the deodorant tube. We want to make sure the whole thing is used up. So I'm wondering if we could just take this now put it in the microwave. I mean, this could be the biggest mess of the year. Carefully, I'm going to stand it up in the microwave. We're just going to microwave it for just like maybe 10 seconds and see if that's enough to liquefy everything in there so it'll go down inside. We're gonna try it. So the 10 seconds didn't really do much. It's now on for 15 more seconds. So the container is pretty warm. I put it on for a total of 10 seconds and 15 seconds. And so I'm gonna take these chopsticks. I'm gonna see, I don't know if I liked shoving it in first and then trying to liquefy it. I think if you want to take full advantage of your entire container, you're gonna be better served to melt this first. Unless you are a pro, unless you've been doing this for a while and you know exactly how to get it in there from the beginning. Maybe if I had used this from the beginning, like if I'd taken off a chunk and then I had taken it and I pushed it in, but kind of pushed it around with this, maybe that would have helped. But okay, so now what we're going to do is it's obvious that I can still put more in here. So let's take some of this stuff, getting messy again. I'm going to shove that in there. This is actually really funny. I can't believe I'm just doing this the first time on the camera. It's okay. You're going to see the process. So it looks pretty messy, right? But I think that this will be worth it in the end. It's not like a big deal. It's kind of it's a fun little project, little DIY, a little science experiment. Who would have ever thought that your science class from days of old would be so useful, right? We always wondered those things when we were taking those classes, and now I'm turning my kitchen into a little laboratory. I'm sure that you people who have done this a whole bunch of times are just shaking your head like, what an idiot. She's not doing this right at all. But I'm just trying it out. And you would be, okay, if you're brand new to this, then guess what? You'll be doing it just like me. So now you can see me make mistakes and you don't have to make them. So that's what's good about this video, right? Because you might, if I just showed you the finished product and exactly how to do it right, you might be like, well, I don't know, maybe this other way would work. And then you'd find out, just like me, that maybe it isn't the best way. Okay, so we're gonna clean up the outside of this. We're gonna put this one to the side. This is first, I'm gonna put it by this aqua colored little mixer. That's our number one. We did that by just pressing it, melting it afterwards. Our next step is I'm gonna go grab another empty tube. And we are going to do it by melting it first. The tubes actually came with like a little funnel, so maybe that would be good. So we're gonna melt it first in my bowl, and then we are going to pour it in, and then maybe that's even the best way. So hold on just a second. Okay, I just brought the whole box because this is what came from Amazon. So as you can see, this is why I was asking you earlier for ideas of what to use these for, because I have like a million of these. You know, I'm gonna have to make sure I do. Is I 100% have to mark these. I'm gonna show you my method of marking that it will never come off. Because if I don't mark this, I'm gonna think this is lip balm and I'm gonna put this on my lips and that's gonna be really weird. So, okay, this is Amie from the future. I'm gonna jump in right here really quick and just show you how I mark things in my toiletry bag. Now, I do this very specifically because in your toiletry bag, you're going to have things that have oil bases to them, and that might cause the things that you mark to have the markings rub off over time. I've had lots of times where I pull something out and I'm like, I don't even know what this is anymore. My marking's gone because it's all rubbed off. So what I do is I use a Sharpie, permanent marker, but doesn't mean it's permanent because if you get oil on it, it's still gonna rub off. So I'm just gonna put a big D on here for deodorant, okay? Now I know that that's a D. So what I'm gonna do now, packing tape. You can use Scotch tape, any kind of clear tape, it doesn't matter, but this is what I have. So I'm gonna rip off a piece of packing tape. I'm gonna take this and put it on. I should have mentioned, make sure that your container is clean before you do this, but I'm just gonna slip it on right here. And all I need to do is just cover the part where the lettering is. So I don't need to have this full amount. So I'm gonna go grab some scissors. Okay, so now I'm just gonna trim this off right here because I don't want all of that tape on there, but that is fine. I don't have to have the other part either. So I'm gonna trim that part off right there. So now that is completely covered. So this will never rub off. Never ever. So that's how I mark any of my containers that go in the toiletry bag, my little jars, anything like that. Okay, let's get back to the rest of the program. Okay, what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna cut off a bigger chunk and we're going to melt it. So we're gonna melt this little buddy. What I wanna do here is I wanna show you how many of these tiny deodorants you can actually make with this home size one. And that's why I'm gonna show you like why it's so ridiculous that we take these giant containers with us any place. There's so much unused like packaging on our products, you guys. I mean, it's unreal. So until you start doing these kinds of experiments, you just don't ever think about it. You just buy the product and you use it. You don't realize that the majority of this is plastic and it's not even any product, because I think my product ends pretty close. How close are we to ending here? Right there. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to be able to get 3 of those out of this giant thing. Okay, that's ridiculous. So we're going to put this in the microwave. I'm guessing, since I want it to be completely liquid. So it was 10, 15, it was mostly, so let's just do 25 seconds and then we'll go from there. Now, let's say you do not have a microwave. What would be other ways that you can melt this? I've heard of candle warmers. Like you could put like your bowl of the stuff in there and you can warm it on a candle warmer. That would be an idea. It would just take longer. If you just have a stove top, I wonder how you could do, because you wouldn't want this directly in your pan. wonder if you could do like some kind of a double boiler method. That's possible. Now, if you live in a very, very hot place like I do, and it's a very hot day, you could just put this in a bowl and put saran wrap or some kind of plastic covering over the top and then just stick it out in the sunshine and it would melt it. I'm just thinking of ways for you guys. Okay, it's mostly melted. The 25 seconds was exactly what I needed for this. I mean, there's clumps in here. I'm gonna try to just smooth out the clumps. But I think that this actually is going to be kind of cool. I'm just so blown away with, I really didn't realize that this is what happens to deodorant then when you melt. I mean, I just didn't even think. I didn't even really think about it. Okay, do we think we need this funnel? We're gonna lose product in this though. I wonder if I can just pour it in. Let's make sure we're not getting this everywhere. Okay, so for me, I'm thinking I prefer this method possibly. Now, one thing you're going to make sure, I'm using this chopstick because this is what I had. However, this is wood and there is a chance I could get slivers of wood in my deodorant. So you need to make sure that that doesn't happen because that's not gonna feel super great when you go to apply it. So let's see, we're gonna scoop this and we're gonna see if we can push this in now. You know, it needs to be more liquefied. We're gonna liquefy this. Now, I will tell you that this sets up fast. This sets up so fast. We're going to carefully pour this in without burning myself because it's really hot. Okay, guys, this is the way. This is the way to do it. That's the easiest. I'm thinking, you know, if you did 30 seconds, I think it would be perfect. This is actually, oh, wait. I see a bubble. Okay, I'm gonna make sure I push that down. Yeah, that's the only thing is like making it so you don't have any bubbles in here. So it has to be completely liquid. And doing it all at the same time is probably advised. I'm wondering if now, see, I'm scraping that. It just gives me the creeps. I feel like I'm going to put, okay. Whoa, volcano. So I kind of like this method. Like I like this a lot because I'm just looking here and I cannot, oh, can I see any bubbles? Let me go over here. See any bubbles on the inside? I don't want to waste any of this. I'm going to try to scrape it all off. Like I said, I don't want to waste any because I want to show you exactly how many I can get out of that regular tube. This is absolutely brilliant. I am so grateful for your comments because this is due to viewer comments that I even knew about this. I had no idea about this. So thank you, a million thank yous, because this is so cool. Like I am so abundantly pleased by this. I can't even tell you. Like really happy about this whole thing. How did I not know about this? This is so awesome. Because I don't know everything. That's why. So please leave comments. Tell me more stuff. I need to know all the things. I need to know it all. So, and I don't know it all right now, obviously. So, okay, this is number 2. Number 2 is going to go by the peanut butter. So we're going to put number 2. I'm waiting. I'm not going to put the lid on quite yet because I want to actually, what I should do is I should top this off. It kind of was kind of good the way it was. I mean, honestly, guess what? This is exactly how they make these things in the factory. They're going to have liquid stuff. This little thing's going to come by on a conveyor belt and assembly line thing, and it's going to have like a thing where a tube comes out, fills it up, boom, it moves on, it dries, I put the lid on. That's how they make these. So why can you not do this yourself with smaller containers that work better for you? Yeah, that's number 2. Okay. Was there any other way that we wanted to do this? Could you melt it right in here? I wonder if this is gonna work. I'm just curious. Now I'm dying with all these options. Okay, so we're gonna push this all the way down inside, all the way down. And we're gonna take, hopefully there's no metal in this, because if there is, we're gonna have a problem in my microwave. It could potentially fall over and I don't want it in my microwave. So we're gonna melt this inside here. So we're gonna say, let's say for this one, should we just do 25 again? Let's do 25 again and see. I hope I didn't ruin this. I hope I'll be able to get this stuff out. So we need another one of these. Pop it open really fast. Okay, so now we're gonna take this. So I did this for 50 seconds. So let's just pour this. That's actually might be the way. Oh my gosh. I think this is how you do it. I think this might be it. That was actually really easy. Okay, number 3 is that you melt it in that and then you pour it into your thing. So this is number 3. We're gonna put this over and we still have enough for a few more. Top it off. Oh, that's like right on the money. Okay, so geez Louise, hold on. Ugh, this video is gonna have a lot of editing in it, or I'll just give it to you just raw. We have a tiny bit left. I wonder if I can fit it into any of these ones. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just gonna put that there. I just want to wipe these all off before I do too much with them. I can put a little bit in this one. Yep, that goes right up to the brim. Okay. Any of these other ones? Could I add anything to this one? Maybe I could add a little bit to this one. Possibly. See how I just don't like to waste anything? I want to get all my use out of it. Okay. Oh! Okay. Well, I just wasted a whole tube by trying to get the last one. Okay, that'll be a blooper. It's fine. Guess what? Because we're going to make this work, I'm still going to be able to retrieve it. No problem. No problems. I cannot believe I did that. What a mess. What a total mess. Okay, we did have 5. We did have 5 until I just dumped that one. So we have to decide. Do we want to just try to get this one? Yes, we do. Darn it. How am I going to get that in there? This cutting board was clean. So I'm just going to scrape this all off and I'm going to get another, I'll just use this guy. Okay. Whenever you do things like this, you're always going to have errors. So that was a faux pas on my part. You saw it coming. You could have warned me, but you didn't. So it's all right. It's okay. Everything's going to be fine. We are going to scrape this up here and we're going to retrieve it because we're going to make that 5th one. I'm going to get every little bit of this deodorant. In the meantime, what were the ounces on this? That it had 1.4 ounces of deodorant. So, and we still have some in here that I can utilize. So anyway, what we're going to do, well, that's as much as I can get. Hold on. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that's all in there like that. Okay, let's pour this in. It's a little hot. This one it's not as liquefied. Yeah, I lost so much on that because remember, it was all the way up to the top. It was so perfect. I'm so bummed that I did that. Okay, so this one is a partial tube. That's just how it goes. So what I need to do is I need to make sure that that is not what I take with me on my trip because if it's already partially used, obviously I don't want to take a partial one. So we're going to put this one. The partial one is now going to be right by this box. Is that smart? Sure. Okay. All right. So this little experiment shows you that this right here was 1.4 ounces of deodorant, okay? And it smells really nice. So for this, I was able to get 5 of these little tubes made, these tiny tubes. I don't need 5 for a trip. However, like I said, if I am going for almost 2 months, that is the amount of deodorant I would probably use in 2 months. So if I really wanted to, I could take all of them. However, that's too much. I'm not going to take all of them. I'm going to take one of them for sure. And I might take 2. I might take 2, but I also like buying things when I'm on my trip for long trips. So I can just pick up something along the way. So that is an idea as well. So most likely that is what I'll do and just keep my toiletries small from the very beginning. So anyway, what do you think? Do you think this is something that you would try? I'm actually going to wait for these to dry and then I'm going to test it out. I'm actually going to see how easy is it to apply the small stick. Is it easy? Is it difficult? Do I feel like it's getting the adequate coverage? Like how long, am I using more than I normally would with one swipe with this big thing? That's why it's in the big thing because that's supposed to be like, you don't have to go a whole bunch of times, but does it really matter when you're trying to just make do when you travel? I don't know. I'm gonna wait for these to completely set up. Then I'm gonna try applying it, tell you how that works, and then we'll wrap this up. Okay, so the deodorant is all set up and I came up into my bathroom and I tried out the deodorant. I'm not going to bother you with showing you that process. You know how to apply deodorant. So I applied it and it was just as easy as applying it from the regular stick. And I was worried that because of the way I did it, maybe it would fall apart. It didn't fall apart at all. It went on just buttery smooth. It was fantastic. I'm in love with this idea right now. I think this is like one of the best suggestions I have gotten in a long time. So thank you to all of the commenters who told me to try this out because I am indebted to you forever. This is going to transform my bag. I'm serious. I'm so excited about it. So let's give you the final wrap up of how all the pieces went together. We started out with this big container and normally I would take something about this small on a trip. I would never take this something this big, but I wanted to show how we could decant this large one into a small thing. So this actually worked. That's the small thing. That's what we did on this. And what's great about it is this right here made 5 of these, 5 completely to the top. Remember, I spilled one, so I lost a little bit. But if I hadn't dumped it over, then we would have 5 full containers. Now, what I did is I did some math, and this right here is 1.4 ounces. So if I divide that by 5, I get 0.28. And so that means that each one of these has about 0.28 worth of deodorant inside, approximately. They could be a little bit off, but I'm just saying 0.28. This one right here is 0.35. I know that this lasts me longer than 2 weeks. And so I know that this will last me 2 weeks. 2 weeks of travel is this amount of deodorant right here. That's all you need. What's really great about this is that you could look and see, oh, okay, so I'm just gonna go find another small deodorant someplace. I'll just find Lady Speed Stick and I'll just find it in this little travel size. Well, guess what? You're going to get something way bigger than this. And it's mainly going to be plastic with a very small amount of deodorant inside of it because that's what they do. They give you this thing and it's just like, it's mainly plastic. That's why if you can decant it into your own thing, you're getting mainly product, not mainly plastic. And that's why I think this idea is so fantastic and I love it. If you did not want to buy these from Amazon, you might just have some that are about ready to be used up of your lip gloss, this is a Blistix fruit smoothie, little lip balm. So what I would do is if this is about done, then I would wait till it was very, very done. I would try to get out as much of the product as possible. Then I would stick this in the microwave for like 10 seconds, 15 seconds and make it melt it. Dump that out, get all of that out and dump it. You could maybe use it in another little container or something if you didn't want to waste it, but dump out anything that's still left into the little plunger part. Then you're going to wash it out with hot water. And then once it's dry, then you can do the thing that I just showed, all the steps. This is what I learned from this experiment, is that the best way to do it for me, the best way I found to do it was to melt it, because then it just fills every nook and cranny inside of this thing and you don't have to worry about trying to press it in, trying to make sure all the little gaps are filled. I want all gaps filled, and the only way they can be filled is if it's liquid to begin with. So I would suggest highly that you melt, and actually, if you want to do a bunch of these, then I would just melt it right in the deodorant container. I would melt it right in this. This was the best way that I found. Just make sure that you just do it slow process, melt it down, put it in a bowl in case any of it leaks out or something. And then you can use this to just pour it into each one of these. Be careful not to dump them like I did. Alternatively, if you don't want to take this entire thing and turn it into these, you just cut off a chunk of it, a small chunk, melt that in a bowl, then pour it in. And if you need to do a little bit more, do a little tiny bit more and melt that in. And melt that and pour it in. So that's what I would recommend. So that's the whole process. I am so excited that this worked. This experiment was so fun. And now I have a tiny deodorant to take with me on my trip. I've got a bunch more toiletry improvements that I've made to my original video that I will post later. And hopefully you'll be able to catch those as well. I'm going to do something on toothpaste. I'm going to do an entire mini makeup kit that's even better than the one that I was putting inside of my small toiletry kit bag before. I've learned a lot of things. I did that video, and based on all of your guys' comments, I transformed. I was like, oh my goodness, I can improve this based on everybody's feedback and input. So if you have feedback and input for this video, I would love to hear it. Please give suggestions on how I can maybe improve this process, and I'll shoot another video about it. That's what is so fun about life, and it's so fun about travel, especially if you're trying to improve the way you travel every single time you go, is that it's always just a learning process, and you'll learn and grow as you go, and we can all help each other. So if you want to subscribe, I'm going to start doing Travel Talk Tuesday or Travel Talk Thursday. I haven't decided yet which day, but if you subscribe, I will post in a written post on my channel, and then you will be alerted to that information about when I'm going to start doing those. And you can hop on live and we can chat live about some of these fun ideas and all things travel. Okay, thanks so much for catching this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.